Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So it is the closest Friday to the end of the month, so we are going to be doing my monthly decoration today. I'm still having a lot of trouble with that button. If anybody's used this, like has a planner, like everybody has a planner like this one, but if you have trouble with your button, let me know. I'd like to know how to fix it. So I'm just flicking to the next month in my planner, which is March. So you guys will see in just a second how busy March is. Well, it kind of is. It's not as busy as I think I thought it was originally, but it is pretty busy. So, as I alluded to in my weekly video on Monday, I am going to be using the other side of the new Write Your Own Tomorrow range. So you would have seen on Monday I used the navy blue or the baby blue, whatever you want to call it, side of this one. I am going to use the, they're calling it blush pink. I call it peach/orange. Side of the planner of the collection for this part of the for this decoration. So we're going to jump straight into it, and I'm going after a certain piece of paper. Where is it? Going after this one. I really love this vine sort of motif that they're doing with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it as best I can, and it's not going to, I'll have to trim a little bit, but I'm going to run it around the outside like that. So I am going to use 2 of these pieces. You only get 4 in a thing, so I'm a little nervous. So I'm just going to grab my big paper trimmer just because I need to for this one. And what I'm going to do, so we're going to start with the left side. Yes, left. I really suck at lefts and rights, so it's just something you guys should know about me. So this is the side that's going to get cut off. So what I'm going to do first is cut as close to that edge as I can so that I get the most amount on the bottom, which I probably won't end up using, but okay. So that is, there we go, that's almost perfect, so that's good. So I'm just going to put this off to the side because I will probably use that bit as well. So then the next thing to do is this is going to be really fiddly. So what I'm going to do is the same things I did before. I'm basically lining up my ruler with the inside here, so that can give me roughly the same sort of width every time. Cut that bit first. I want to cut the other bit first. Just don't know why, just a bit nervous about it. So same thing, lining that up there. I'm going to start kind of in the middle and just run down to roughly where I think it is. So that's not attached to anything, basically speaking. So you see that's not joined up at all. So then what I'm going to do is just grab my cutting mat and a bit of spare paper that's floating around and my ruler, and I'm going to try very hard to join these up. And there we go, she's free. So I'm just grabbing that page back out. So as you'll see in just a sec, it is too long. So what I'm going to do is cut in the middle, and then we'll sort of join them back up. So I'm just looking for a spot where there's a bit of a break. I'm cutting as straight as I can. And I'm going to run this around the outside just like this, and then we'll cut off the excess. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down. I am sticking, you guys would have heard me say on the month ones before, sometimes these aren't completely straight. So what I'm doing is I'm deliberately using the actual outline of the calendar as my reference point as opposed to using the page. It'll make it look square and it's just a little bit easier to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to stick this down and I'll be back in just a sec. what it looks like when it is stuck down. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the process. Sorry, word vomit. I'm doing it again. What is wrong with me? So what you've got to do first though is just line this up where you want it. Same thing on the top. You just have to work out how tall you want this. Now I'm just tidying this edge up just because I've just noticed it's a bit ragged. The other ones I don't mind so much, but just this top one, just want it to be a bit sharp. So you just sort of work out where you want it. So I'm just going a little bit under where I just marked that, just so it'll try and sit up as flush as it can. See if it'll work. Yeah, it's not too bad. Might even just go a little bit more. So I'll cut that off in a sec. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and stick this down. So same thing as before, just going to put glue down first and then just go over it again. That's what that one side looks like. What I'm going to do is I'll stick something here so that you can't tell in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this up really quick, show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to speed through doing the other side so you guys don't have to sit through it. But I will trim this up first so you guys can see what the final product looks like, and then we'll go with that. So that's what it looks like when the holes have been punched and everything. I have just noticed I've missed a little bit when I was putting that glue on, so it's just a little bit of overrun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the whole other side, and I'll be back when I'm finished. Like when it's not finished, but that's what it looks like when I've got the borders done. It is a lot of work to do not get me wrong. That's a really difficult way to do it, but I actually really like the outcome. Like, I think that looks really cool. So the first thing I'm going to do now, or the next thing I'm going to do now, is go around and write all these different bits and pieces, pardon me, in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in just a sec. So that is everything basically put in there. There is something special happening here, so I'm just going to grab some stickers out, and thought I'd sort of do that while I was doing this. That makes no sense, you get the point. It's a shame that's not a bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is just grab a couple of bits and pieces. So this one's just going to cover, basically cover that little boo-boo. That one's actually not so bad, so I'm going to leave that one alone. I want something. I wanted a heart to go here because it is my cousin's wedding and I'm very excited for it, but I don't think there is a heart in this range. I might go with this XOX one. It's a bit bigger than I probably wanted to use, but that's okay. Technically it is in April, so I will have to signify it again in April, but it is very important, so it's going to go in here. I'm going to write my own little heart in there. I'm going to trim up that little tail. Okay, so then just as a bit of an added extra thing, I've lost my notepaper. Just going to see what else we've got in here. You could obviously also do this with this piece. I'll show you if I can find it again. You could do the same border if you wanted to use this one instead. I just like the vines, I think they look nice. I'll take this one here. Cut this bottom bit off, and this is just so I don't not waste all the paper, but don't ruin the bottom of that one by having my awfully not straight cutting. And I'm just cutting this out sort of, not roughly, but not particularly carefully. Stick this one down the bottom here, so I'm just going to stick that down. Oops. Oops, upside down, upside down. Put that at the bottom there. That covers up that little bit of the month that you don't use anyway. And just checking if there's anything else in here. Then just as a last little bit, might grab the vision board kit kind of thing. I know I said in my weekly video I don't like punching holes in them, but can't always not do that. That'd be cool if it sat out like that. Think, Ashley, think. How do you make that sit slightly out? What I'm going to do, I wonder if I can make that work. I don't want to do the same one as I did just before, like in my other video, so I'm trying to think of a way to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this off card of paper that we just used, that was in the border there. I'm going to cut just a little sort of corner of it. This is a bit of an experiment, so we'll see how it goes before we get too excited about it. I'm just going to tidy up these edges a little bit. This is almost the same colour as this, so what I'm going to do is kind of do, it's not an envelope as such, it's kind of going to work like one. It's going to sit down the side like that. I'll trim this to size and it'll sort of slide in there like that, and that way it'll hold it still, but I'll have it a little bit further down. You can either do this with glitter tape. The Kikki.K glitter tape works really nicely. And I'll either do it with that, or I'm going to use, so what I'm going to do first is just open this up and glue these down. So I'm going to glue it down, and then I'm going to use washi tape as a bit of a decoration. So I'm just going to put about half the dots there and stick that together. That way I can sort of measure where the card's going to go, which, yes, I know it's going to go around the other way, but we'll go with this first. And I'm just going to do it by hand, just by sight. I'm not going to worry about getting the cutter out. Go. And then just do the same thing on the other side. So about half the glue, and then stick it down. So I'm just making sure that's flat. And I'm just grabbing, this is Express It washi tape. It's sort of extra thin, kind of sparkly glitter tape. I just think it matches that copper pretty closely. So I'm just cutting off a little bit of this. And it's not there to hold this down, it's not there to stick it together, it's purely there as decoration. So I'm just lining that up as close as I can to the bottom. And do the same thing with the other side. And then just trim off the excess. I'm just going to stick that roughly where I want it. Just before I do that, it's just annoying me. It's not straight, but it looks so not straight that it's bugging me. So I'm just going to line that up with the bottom and just cut. So that's going to make that line completely straight, well, pretty bloody close, and also just tidies it up a little bit. So I'm just going to run that down there like that. Make sure your open end's the one out this side. As a little extra, I'm just grabbing another sticker. You can never have too many stickers, in my opinion. You see now how closely that copper matches that copper. I'm just going to put that in like that, and that'll sit just about perfectly. So that is everything. I'm not going to do anything more than that. I'm just looking around going, do I need anything else? I don't think I do. One more. As I said, you can never have too many stickers. Just need something. Just use this flower up in the top corner. Just brings a little bit more copper and a little bit more red. So that is my entire of March. That's what I haven't got on here. I don't actually have anything that says March because I covered it up. So we're just gonna go, just checking off camera just for a second. Your month's usually in the top left hand corner. Damn it, I wish I hadn't put that sticker there now. But I'm actually gonna move it over to the right hand corner this time. So I'm just grabbing one of these labels. You guys know I never actually use them anyway, so just grabbing this one here. I just want to use the corner more than anything else. So I'm just going to cut the to and the from bit off. If you're that way inclined, you can keep that bit. You don't have to throw it away. And I'm just rounding off the corners so that it kind of looks like I haven't just done that. Now I'm going to put in the top corner. I'm just going to write in, and I'll do it. I'll do it in red. I don't really want to. I'd rather do it in something else, but oh well. So I've just written that in by hand, really simply. There we go. So that is all I'm going to do for that now. I'm definitely going to stop. Maybe. Let me know what you think about this one. As it is very simple, as in it looks very simple, but I'm very much prepared for this to become a very busy month. So I wanted to leave as much room as I can. Let me know what you think about this one. If you like it, if you don't like it, what you think about this collection. I think I've said it before, I'm much more of a fan of the blue, but the peach / brush pink is actually kind of growing on me. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Otherwise, guys, I will talk to you again really, really soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.